All right, guys, 2-2-4-2-2 drill. I know you guys have seen it on the internet and asking questions, and you want more details, right? Some of the biggest questions that's been asked of us is, how does this work in tactical situations? Okay, so here's the answer to that. Number one, this is a worst case scenario, 3 bad guys. How would I systematically engage them? Well, obviously it comes into target priority. Who's the biggest threat, right? So this is where the drill can change dramatically. I know you guys have seen it from left to right. It's typically what we do in a class, but for more advanced applications, we can work into opposite directions. Maybe you go from left to right, back to left, or right to left, back to right, or center left, back to right to center. So you can do all types of configurations. So we'll run those for you to show you. But what I want you to remember is, just like every drill, there's always a why to it, okay? This is something that I know a lot of people, organizations do work on in case they're in a room in a security situation and you got 3 goons in there and it turns bad. You're probably going to get shot, keep that in mind. But it doesn't matter until the lights are out, right? Until you're no longer making any decisions, but that's not up to you. So I'm going to keep shooting in that tactical priority based on what the scenario gives me. But here's what I want you to think about, and this is where our methodologies come in on the human learning curve in training. Stop thinking about the tactics so much. Start thinking about the processes to achieve the goal, so when you do it in a tactical situation, it comes more naturally. So if we had this, which we show in our D5 classes, our Haley strategic iceberg, if you will, we tend to only focus on the tip, right? I mean, that's what we see out there teaching people. People always say, well, what's the technical? What's the tactical? What's the physical? Yes, that's important. However, what is more important is what's under the water. All the stuff that is just waiting to come to the surface that we try to focus on. All the biomechanics, body mechanics, working proprioception and interoception, and all the kinesiology. I mean, just using balance alone and feeling your body is so important in this simple drill. So if you want to run it and you want to run it good, don't just think about the tactical application. Think about what's going on in the body as you're shooting. What's going on in the eyes, the finger, the hips. So we'll talk about a couple of those things right now. So I know you're waiting for the details, so here it is. 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds. It's 12 total rounds from a handgun. And you want to try to do it in less than 3 seconds is the goal, I would say, in reality, right? Because if I could do it in 1 second, that'd be awesome. And I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet, but hopefully I will one day. So that's my goal, is that's where my ladder of excellence goes, is to the unknown, because there's no impossibilities in my world. So with that, what are the tricks of the trade? Well, number one is slowing the hell down. Self-control. Self-control and trusting mindset is the most important. That's again, that's underwater, right? That's under the tip there that you see. So let's think about that. Relaxation, self-control. If you relax, you get rid of the tension, you'll go faster. That is a fact. Once you start, we want to get a good, proper biomechanical draw. All right, no crazy stuff, no excessive or wasted movements. The gun comes up quickly because it has to come out quickly to get that first round off. The goal is to keep it inside the circle. You can even go for the small circle if you want more accuracy, or you can back up in distance and do this. You can use, we'll show you some moving techniques here for this as well. But I want to keep all my rounds in that circle. So I'm going to warm up slow on it first, on the clock, and then we'll break it down, okay? All right, so I'm going to stand on the center target, and Chris is going to go ahead and run the shot timer for me. Stand by. All right, so there's your 12 rounds in the circle. Time?
5.29.
5.29. I'm going as slow as I can right now, that I'm comfortable without rushing myself. And then I'll, just like our rhythm drills and some of the other blog drills we got, now I'll speed it up, make sure I have rhythm. Now here's the key. When I shoot, you don't see me doing the old tank turn, because when we were taught to shoot multiple targets, we would tank turn from left to right, just like the top of a tank will pivot and the body stays in the direction it's going. If you're moving, that's a different application. That's an advanced application of shooting. But in this case, I'm static for right now. And even if I was moving slightly, I'm going to use my hips, just like a quarterback. If he drops back and throws the ball, you'll see right before he releases the ball, the hips will point forward. If the hips, or the gate as we call it, is pointing slightly out, the ball will go to the path of least resistance. So if I can shoot and keep my hips moving with the gun, I never over-rotate. I never create tension in the shooting platform from the upper body. So it's simply leaning out and pulling myself back. So I'll try that a little bit faster now.
Stand by.
Okay, clean hits.
3.60.
So 3.60, I'm starting to bring it down now. My point of impact is still where I wanted it, and I'm using my hips. And now this is where rhythm comes into play. Okay, you gotta have good rhythm with the trigger control. That's a big key here. Okay, so focus on these little things as you're doing it, as you work your way up in speed. Don't go too fast where you start skipping the processes. All right, let's try it again, and a little bit more speed.
Stand by. .08.
So about right at 3 seconds there. So I'm not really shooting faster. If you notice, my trigger's still working the same. All I'm doing is moving my hips faster. I'm loading my left leg. As I come back to the right, you'll see me load my left leg out and pull the gun back by simply pulling my left knee in. Simple body mechanics or biomechanical efficiencies, okay? If you start jerking and back and forth between targets, all that excessive or waste motion and tension is doing nothing but slowing you down, okay? Let's try it one more time.
Stand by.
All right, so now, this is where you hit a failure point if you go too fast. I got 2 outside. If you were to diagnose the video or rewind it, you can see exactly why I did that, okay? Because I'm over driving. I'm starting to go to a point where I need tension to pull that gun back quickly, and sometimes I'm in a rush, and it's all rhythm. So the only reason I shot those placements there is because my finger is getting ahead of my body and my mind. So this is where I do that metronome drill, a rhythm drill. I just kind of calm myself down and start thinking about the rhythm, okay? So, all right, so what was that last time on that one?
2.78.
Okay, 2.78. So there you go. That extra 30th is where I have this failure point that I got to try to figure out and balance. So I'd maybe slow it down the next time I do this. So bring the time up. It's okay to be a slower time. Keep that in mind. You don't just have to go out there and show that you're the fastest, because that's when you can get hurt, okay? Now, you can do this any way you want. Like I said earlier, you can run it from left to right, right to left, center to left to right, back, whatever you want to do, because of tactical targeting priority. That's where the tactics comes into play. So what I'll do for you right now is I'll show you another modification, an advanced application to the drill. Same thing, except I'll simply add in an offline of attack. So you'll see the time increase, maybe not, but Chris is going to hit the shot timer, and I'm going to move to the left. Offline, I'm choosing to shoot this guy first. I've mentally processed that, so I want to get in front of him, engage him, maybe create distance from the rest of these guys. A foot can matter, right? So then I'll start working back in, and then I'll do it to the right. So we'll show you those two to give you that, for you tactical guys out there that are going, well, I don't know how this is going to apply. Hopefully you can see it working right here.
Stand by. .06.
So 3.06, same, that's where I wanted to be time-wise. I slowed myself down a little bit. And remember, even though I'm moving, I'm doing something else. I'm drawing the gun. So it didn't take as much time. My presentation was the movement and the gun to the target. It still took less than a second to get that gun up and into action. So you make up time by moving fast, by presenting the gun fast. So think about that. I'll do it one more time for you guys. Offlining to the right.
Stand by.
All right.
2.91.
2.91, okay? Came out on one of those shots, but again, we're starting to work in tactics now. Still have 100% combat effectiveness. I'm still putting a positive ballistic effect on a human body, which is a good thing. And I'm shooting 12 rounds in less than 3 seconds, so I'm meeting my goal for right now. But I'd still want to slow it down a little bit if I need to smooth things out. So think about the tactics. They're great. But remember, it's the tip of the iceberg. Start focusing on the stuff that's underwater, guys. And that's how you get better in shooting right there. So think about it. I'm Travis Haley. Stay sharp, be safe. Thanks for joining me on this drill.